And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session today titled Digital Genius iPad Jeopardy Challenge. So put your knowledge to the test about your iPad in this interactive Jeopardy session. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Equity Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on information in the apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile and device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me or hear me or see the screen, please let me know in the chat. I would appreciate that. Let's make sure to keep our TVs and cell phones silenced as much as possible so we can give others and ourselves the most immersive experience. And as always, make sure you take notes and or screenshots so you can review the information later on if you would like. But this session will be on our YouTube channel, so you can also rewatch this as many times as you'd like, okay? Awesome, awesome, thank you. So today we're gonna have our iPad Jeopardy today. So for our session today, these are our categories. 1 second. So we have the basics, apps, the keyboard, important tricks, and potpourri. So anything, okay? So what I would love for us to do for our session today, one person can raise their hand, and then we'll hear from a couple of folks about potential answers, and then we're gonna go over it today. So very simple, very fun. They're gonna learn a lot. So who would like to be our first question chooser? Please raise your hand in Zoom if you would like to choose the question for us today. Okay, and also if you'd like to respond too. So just make sure you keep in mind your hand and also your mute as well. So Geraldine, thanks so much for joining. What would you like us to start off with?
I would like to start off with the basics, 100.
Alrighty now. So thanks so much, Geraldine. Appreciate that. And again, please raise your hand if you would like to answer, okay? So this is how you shut down an iPad. So I just going based off the hands, so take a couple of answers and we'll see how we did. So I see 3 hands. Thanks so much. Brenda, what do you think?
You shut your iPad down by holding the button at the very top, the single button. And then the slide bar comes on and you slide it to turn it off.
Thank you so much. All right, Anne, what do you think? You can either say agree or you can say something else.
Well, I use my home button sometimes to cut it off and go off the thing and let it cut itself off.
Okay, thank you so much, Anne. All right, Yvonne, what do you say?
Oh, I use the power button and I just depress the power button and then slide and it goes off.
Okay, and let's see, 2 more, okay, because there's quite a bit of questions, but thank you so much. Mr. Leon, what do you say for this question?
Same thing, I use the button.
Thank you so much.
Power button, yeah.
And then Geraldine, what do you say?
Well, I was just going to say, aren't you supposed to ask a question? Aren't you supposed to put it in the form of a question? What is pushing the agree with Brenda?
Oh, okay, Joe. No, it's okay. We don't. I know for regular Jeopardy, I know we do that. I know we do that for regular Jeopardy, but very relaxed, very chill today. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I appreciate that.
But
very
you're
much.
supposed to ask a question, though. You're supposed to.
I know.
A question.
I know.
Okay, I'll lower my hand.
Thank you so much.
But what is? I agree with Brenda.
All right. Thank you. All right. So our correct answer is, again, it's worded. It can be worded in a certain way, but essentially it's correct. Tap on the power button or hold on the power button to turn the iPad off. If you tap the power button, it sleeps your iPad, basically shuts the screen off. So you cannot shut down your iPad with the home button. So just wanted to mention that as well. You have the home button, again, it's allows you to go between different apps, access the multitasking screen, and it also allows you to turn on your iPad. If the screen is off, you can click either your home button or the power button, and it should turn the screen on. But if you want to fully shut down your iPad, you hold the power button and then the slide to power off. So good job, you guys got it. So thanks so much for that, you guys. Good job. All right. So who would like to be our next question chooser? Please raise your hand. Any takers for our next question? Okay. All right, and keep your hand up if you would like to answer, okay? Thank you, Yvonne. Which one would you like to do next?
The basics for 300.
Okay, thank you so much, Yvonne. Appreciate that. Okay, and make sure you raise your hand if you'd like to answer as well, okay? This trick takes a snapshot of the screen and puts it as a new graphic in the camera roll. Any takers for this question? Okay, Brenda, thanks so much. What do you think?
Well, I believe you hold the power button and the home button at the same time, and that takes a screenshot.
Thank you so much.
It goes in your gallery, your photo gallery.
All righty now. And what do you say?
I agree with Brenda. What is the pressing the power button and the home button to take a picture?
Thank you so much, Anne. Mr. Leon, again, encouraging everyone to participate. I want to hear from many different folks. What do you think?
I agree with pushing the power button and the home button for Snap.
All right. Ms. Wilder, what do you say?
Yes, they're absolutely right. That's how you take a screenshot. Hold the home button and power button together at the same time.
All right. And Ms. Denise, what do you say?
I agree with with the question.
All right. Thank you so much. And let's see what our answer is. Yep, you push and hold the power and the home button until the screen flashes, which it does when it takes a screenshot, and the photo will be stored in your photo library. So good job. So we talk about this in module 2. And for the previous question, we also talk about in module 2. So I hope those sessions have helped you answer these questions, which it clearly has. And again, you hit the home button. So again, I have my iPad right here. You hit the home button and the power button at the same time. So you just click both, very easy. And then you see the screenshots here at the bottom left. It goes away by itself in a second or two. But what I will show, you can actually edit a screenshot. So I just took another one, but look what I'm doing. I click on the screenshot and then you can edit it from here. Of course, for any photo, you can go into your Photos app and edit it. But look at that, I can crop it. I can hit this white circle right here, and I can hit the plus button, add a shape or a text or a sticker, or I can draw on it with some of the tools here that are available. So yes, I love taking screenshots versus having to write, I don't know, what if there's 10 numbers on the screen? Would you rather write the 10 phone numbers down? Or would you rather take a screenshot and then be able to look at it? I'd rather take the screenshot. So especially for our providers, for our sessions, when you ever have slides, or even today, if you would like to take a screenshot to look in your photos later on, again, I'm literally go to my home screen, I go to my Photos app, and it should appear right there and within my other photos too. So I take a screenshot not almost every other day, but I do. And one tip I have for screenshots is, did you know you could use Siri to take a screenshot, right? So I'm on my phone right here. Again, I cannot do this on the iPad right now, but look at this, okay? Hey Siri, take a screenshot. And look, Siri just took a screenshot for me. So unfortunately, during the Zoom call, etc., FaceTime call, you cannot use Siri, but look at that, on my phone, I didn't have to hit any buttons, etc. I could just use Siri to take a screenshot. So I recommend that too, okay? I hope that's helpful. All right, So our next one, again, raise your hand for our next question. Thanks so much, you guys. Who would like to be next for our next question? Please raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Leon, which one would you like?
Apps for 100.
Okay, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. And again, make sure you keep your hand up if you would like to answer, okay? All right. This is how you close some of your open apps. This is a good question. How do you close an app? Take a few hands for this one. Okay, Mr. Leon, what would you like to share? What is your answer?
You can just hit the home button.
Okay, thank you so much. Brenda, what do you think?
Okay. I think you can swipe up and all of your open tabs will come up and you can delete them that way.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And then Gracie, what do you think?
Yeah, basically what Brenda said, but you hit your home button a couple of times, then all the open apps will show, and then you just swipe them away.
Thank you so much, Gracie. Any other takers? Any other takers for this question? You can unmute yourself now as well if you would like. Any other takers? All right, so for this one, again, I love all the answers. Let's see what it is. Okay, you access the multitasking section and then press and hold on an app. Click the little X on the top left corner to close the app. Again, there are many different ways to do so. So thank you for your answers. None of them were technically wrong. So if you want to get out of an app, okay, I know the verbiage can be a little confusing sometimes, but if you want to get out of an app, yes, you hit your home button and you get out of the app, okay? So that wasn't wrong, that's how you get out of an app. But if you want to close an app, again, sometimes maybe an app may be messing up, or it's slow, or it's frozen. So yes, there are many ways to access the multitasking bar. Again, we talk about this in module 2. You tap your home button twice, okay, on the iPad, right? So I just hit the home button twice, okay? Not once, not 3 times, but 2 times, because depending on the number of taps, it may do something different. So it's really important to recognize if you need to tap once or twice or thrice. But there you go. I just access multitasking bar. The other way, I think Brenda mentioned, is from swiping from the bottom of your iPad. And yes, that can be easier than for some folks too. So look, if I swipe from the bottom of my screen, there you go. I access the multitasking bar, okay? And I know the answer said you press and hold on an app. No, it doesn't necessarily work like that, but the reasoning is there. But again, when you go into the multitasking screen or bar, you swipe up on an app to close it, okay? So you swipe up on the app to close it, just like this. You see the motion, right? I'm not going all the way because I'm actually gonna close it, but you get the idea, right? You swipe up on it and you close out of the app. Again, if the apps are having any issues or any challenges, and you know, sometimes occasionally, maybe once a month or once every 3 weeks or so, I just go through and I close some of the apps that I may not be using, right? So it's a good way to do so. But yes, thank you so much for your answers. You guys are doing great. Nothing flat out not wrong, but you guys are doing amazing. So I love that. Thank you. It really shows how much you guys have learned. So it's been a lot of fun. All right. Thank you. Give me 1 second. And let's go to our next question. Please raise your hand if you'd like to share what question you'd like us to answer. Maybe you're 400. But any takers for our next question? Okay. All right, Brenda, what you got for us?
I'm going big time. How about the basics for 500?
All righty now. Thank you so much, Brenda. Appreciate it. Again, love the questions. Okay, this is the standard way to zoom in or zoom out on a page. So we've definitely mentioned this quite a bit sometimes. So this is the standard way to zoom in or zoom out on your iPad. Okay, Mr. Leon, what do you say? You there, Mr. Leon? You got to make sure you hit unmute, okay?
Okay, I got it now. Did it unmute?
Yeah, you're good, Mr. Leon.
Okay, thank you. You pinch in, and then you spread out.
All right, thank you so much. Ms. Vivian, thanks so much for joining us today. What do you say for this question?
I agree with Mr. Leon. Pinch in, pinch out.
All right. Geraldine, what do you say?
I agree with the first two, pinch in and pinch out.
And Miss Brenda, what do you say?
I also agree.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, you all. Let's see what it is. And you're right. You pinch and expand your two fingers to zoom in, or pinch and contract to zoom out. So I can even do it on this page right here. I can use my fingers. Again, I have my fingers right here, and I can basically use two. I use my middle and my thumb. It's typically the easiest for me, right? But whatever works for you. Again, you can zoom in and zoom out just like this. Okay, just using two fingers, okay? If I go to the email that we were looking at, again, look, I do the same thing. I can zoom in, I can zoom out. Any app, or most apps, okay, will work with zooming in and zooming out. And again, it's very convenient. So if you just need to see something more or less, or to get a bigger view, I really like that, okay? And one trick I have that I do sometimes is if I need to take a screenshot, right? But maybe I just need some part of it, etc. You can still use Siri to take a screenshot. So it's very, very few cases where that actually occurs, but you may never know. If you need to zoom in, maybe the page, sometimes when you zoom in or zoom out, it goes immediately back to the full page view, even when you just let go, right? For Safari, you see when I pinch in, it stays pinched in, or if I zoom out, it stays pinched out. But if you need to take a screenshot of something specific, you can hold your finger and then ask Siri to take a screenshot, and it will do that. It'll look exactly as you have zoomed in, right? So if I'm zoomed in like this, and then I take a screenshot, look at that. The screenshot is that zoomed in picture. So just something wanted to mention as well. Okay, good job, you guys. You beat that 500. I know that's right. All right, time flies when you're having fun. Let's see what else is there to learn. Anyone else would like to choose our next question? Please raise your hand in Zoom. Any takers? Okay, just trying to hear from different folks for this, so appreciate it. Miss Vivian, which one would you like us to do next?
I am not iPad savvy, so I am learning a lot. Thank you all for sharing. So now I want to learn some tricks for 500.
I know that's right, Miss Vivian. Thank you so much. Yeah, and again, make sure you keep your hand up if you'd like to answer. If not, then make sure, keep that in mind. So important tricks for 500. Let's see. This is a physical way to undo your last edit. Oh, this is a good one. This is a physical way to undo your last edit. I will give you all a hint. Module 5, we actually cover this. So there's your hint for this question. Any takers? Please raise your hand. Thank you. Again, please raise your hand if you'd like to answer. Appreciate it. All right, Brenda, what do you say?
I'd say you can hit the undo button in the top left area of your device. Oh no,
Okay.
wait a minute. Yeah, I think. Well, it looks like it's right here on that same Jeopardy Labs line. That our curved arrow. That's the undo.
So, okay, I got your answer. I really appreciate that, Brenda.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Uh-huh. Yes, don't want to reveal anything. So, any other takers? You can raise your hand. You can unmute yourself. Yeah, this is a tough one, so try it out. This is a physical way to undo your last edit. Any takers? All right. Well, again, I know this is a tough one, so I hope you all learned something new today as well. So let's reveal the answer. So what you can do, again, this is just one manner. It doesn't work for all, but just like with your phone, if you have an iPhone, you can basically shake your device and then it will actually undo it for you. But that, is not feasible for some. So in module 5, there's many different answers for this, right? So yes, you can hit the undo button. There is an undo button. Let me go to my notes, right? So if I go to my notes app right here, let me open a new notes. So most commonly, if you see look at the top left, right? So I wrote hello, and at the top left, I see the undo button and the redo button, okay? So if I want to hit the undo, yeah, you can undo it that way, right? But not all apps are going to have an undo button, and so you won't be able to, unless you use this trick, okay? Really quickly, if I go back to Safari, there is no particular undo button up there at the top right, that circled arrow, okay, that's the refresh button. That's how you refresh the page, right? So if I go to our YouTube channel and then I hit the refresh button, it just refreshes the page, okay? So in case there was something going on with the website, etc., try refreshing it. Maybe it helps out with certain things, okay? But if you're on an editor or if you're in a lot of places on your iPad, okay, you can use this trick. So if I write hello, this is Alex. Okay, this is Alex. Oops. I have my Spanish keyboard on, so give me a second. Okay, and if you want to redo, again, without hitting the undo button, if there is not a undo button, this is the trick. Again, we covered this in module 5, okay? So you take 3 fingers, okay? I usually use my 3 middlemost, so it tends to be the easiest, but you could use any combination, right? But I typically use these 3. And if I swipe left with these 3 fingers, so I'm gonna show you all, hopefully you all can see my video too, but if I swipe left with 3 fingers, again, just going straight across, again, I can do it like this, with 3 fingers. Again, it doesn't have to be like, vertically. I recommend it horizontally, okay? You move your hand horizontally with 3 fingers, okay? So it's not too strainful, okay? I think this is sometimes the easiest way to do so. But look at that, I can undo by swiping left with 3 fingers. You see, it doesn't undo everything, right? It does it in steps, how you kind of wrote it, right? And then if you swipe right with 3 fingers, that's how you redo, okay? So there's undo and redo, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're typing something in and you made a mistake or just want to undo your work, whatever reason, that is one trick I recommend. So you can use the undo button. It can be easier sometimes, but if there's no undo button, you can use the 3 fingers trick, okay? Swipe left with 3 fingers, you undo. You swipe right with 3 fingers, you redo, okay? Here's undo, and here's redo. Okay. All right, so that's another tip as well. So thank you so much for that. I hope that was helpful. And just so we can, go through the Jeopardy as much as we can, put any questions or put any comments in the chat, please. I really appreciate that, okay? Thank you so much. And of course, we have our discussion at the end too. So write down any questions and put it in the chat, and we're more than happy to answer those at the end, okay? Let's go with our next one. So please raise your hand for our next question. Any takers for our next question? Again, I hope you guys are learning a lot, taking notes, having fun, and let's see. All right, Mr. Leon, which one would you like us for us to do?
The keyboard for 100.
Okay, thanks so much. All right, and this trick at the end of a sentence gets you a period plus a space. So we've also talked about this trick. Any takers? Any takers for this question? Again, please raise your hand. We'd love to hear from you guys. Any hands? I see one hand so far. Any other ones? Okay, all right, I see some hands. Thank you so much. Miss Wilder, what do you say?
Tap the keyboard twice. Keyboard twice
Okay.
to give you a period and at the end of a sentence.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, Brenda, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree that you double space and it'll give you a period and where you can begin a new sentence. So I agree with Wilda.
All right, and Geraldine, what do you say?
I agree. You tap the space bar twice, and then you can begin a new sentence. I agree with everybody.
Thank you so much. And of course, again, please make sure, love to hear from as many folks, especially if you haven't shared yet or picked a question. We'd love to hear from you guys, okay? Thank you so much. All right, so for this one, we double tap this space bar to end a sentence with a period and new space, okay? So yes, you all did amazing. And just make sure it has to be the space bar, okay? If you double tap any other part of the keyboard, it won't give you that space and a period. So look, I was writing this sentence. Well, it's not an actual sentence, but you get the idea. But look, you double tap the space bar. There you go. You get a period and a space. And it's so much more convenient than having to hit the period and then having to hit the space, right? Especially if you're writing a few lines, that little bit of time, adds up, right? So any kind of trick to make things easier, I love it, right? So instead of having to write X and then period and the space, I double tap the space bar, just do, right, on the space bar. And then bam, you get your period, you get your space, and it also automatically capitalizes for you. So I don't have to write, hello, this is Alex, I am great. Double tap the space bar, how are you? But for this one, just I hit the shift and then I get access to the question, okay? So yes, very, very simple. You guys got amazing, so thank you so much. All right, again, we talk about that in module 5 when we talk about the iPad keyboard, okay? All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Our next one, please raise your hand if you'd like to pick our next question, okay? All right, Miss Carolyn, I got you, okay? Give me one moment, just making sure everything's good on my end, all right? Okay. Yes, 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 thank you so much. All right, you guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And our next question chooser is Miss Carolyn. Which one would you like us to do? You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle, Miss Carolyn. Miss Carolyn, you got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay? Okay. Yeah, Miss Carolyn, make sure you hit like okay or any other windows that you see so you can unmute yourself, okay? Let's see, Miss Vivian, which one would you like us to do?
Let's go Midway apps 300.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So 300. Again, Ms. Carol, make sure you unmute yourself when you can, okay? This is how you move an app to a different screen. Yeah, how you move an app to a different screen. Any takers for this one? Again, raise your hand if you'd like to answer. This is how you move an app to a different screen. I saw you, Miss Carolyn. I got you for the next one, okay, for our question. But if you'd like to answer this one too, please raise your hand, okay? Any takers? This is how you move an app to a different screen. Okay, Ms. Vivian, you still have your hand up. So what do you say for this one? You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle.
Yeah, I had to catch myself on that. I was trying to practice it, so I had to open another app. So can you just slide it over in either direction? Slide that particular app to the right or the left?
Okay, thank you so much for your answer, Ms. Vivian. I got you, okay?
Okay.
Any other takers? This is how you move an app to a different screen. One hint, this is about the home screen. So I think we talked about it on Thursday as well, but a few times you mentioned this trick in the past. How do you move an app to a different screen? Please raise your hand if you'd like to answer. You can also unmute yourself and share. Okay, Yvonne, what do you say? Yvonne, you can hit unmute in the middle.
Yes. I would use a shortcut. And we went over that recently. Using it was one of the shortcuts that we learned the other day.
Okay, no, I really appreciate your answer, Ms. Yvonne. Thank you so much. And okay, Denise, what do you say for this question?
Do you do you copy and then carry where you want it and paste it?
Okay, thank you so much for your answer, Ms. Denise. I really appreciate it. All right, one more. I'll take one more for this one, okay? Mr. Leon, what do you say?
Swipe up from the bottom.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Leon. I really appreciate it. So for this question, I would say it could be, it's worded in a way, but again, the hint was the home screen. Okay, so moving an app to a different screen. Touch and hold on an app to move to a different location, or by moving it to the left or right side to a different screen. So this question is reference to moving apps on the home screen. So if you would like to move an app from one screen to another, again, we're not accessing any apps, or there's not particularly a shortcut to move an app. This is a physical thing that you do to move apps around, because you may want an app on your first screen right here, right? You may want an app here, but it may be over here. Or you just may want to move it to another part of your screen, okay? And not just apps, it also works for widgets as well. So what you can do is you hold the screen, again, whether it's the app you want to move, or if it's just an open part of the screen, you you hold your home screen. Again, you just hold the screen with your finger, okay? Until you see all the apps start to shake, okay? So again, you can either hold the app, again, it depends really. I think it's actually changed in the latest operating system. So you actually have to hold the screen. Again, I'm learning new things too, so we're all in this together, right? So you used to be able to hold an app and then have it do that, but instantly, but now you have to hit edit home screen. So that's just another step. One less step is just, again, you all see where there's the open space. Let me go to this screen right here. You see I only have like 3 apps on this screen, right? Again, I just hold the screen anywhere else, and that just instantly makes the whole screen shake, okay? What you can do is, again, you can move around your screen, even if it is shaking, to pick, let's say this app, right? I hold and drag. Again, I quickly hold and drag. Hold and drag. You see it kind of bumps up just for a second, right? When you see it, it bumps up, but essentially you hold and drag to whatever part of the screen that you want it to be. So again, I'll do that one more time. You hold the screen. If you just want to do this in one click to app the app shake, or if you hold the app, you can then hit edit home screen to get the same result, but it is another step. So I really like just holding any open part of the screen, okay? And then you hold and drag the app wherever you want it to go. And look, you notice this is like my last page right here. If I move again, this is my app library. I can hold the screen and move the app and create a new screen. Okay, you notice all these dots right here, kind of at the bottom above the dock, but that's how many screens I have. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you know, those amount of screens, right? And yeah, so you can move them, adjust them as you'd like. So yeah, this was kind of a tough one, and certainly can be a little difficult to remember. So I hope that was helpful. Just real quick, if you learned how to do this today, if you've never moved an app on a screen from one screen to another, please raise your hand in Zoom. And if you knew this trick, or if you learned this trick today, or if you thought it was interesting or would be useful, please raise your hand. Everyone's different with how they have their home screen set up. I could have everything in folders, which we may talk about in a second, but you may want to have a screen just of your social media, another screen for your bills apps or whatever, right? So it's really up to you. Everyone's going to be different. On my phone here, I just have 2 screens on my phone. So, I mean, everyone's going to be different, right? My first screen is my main apps that I use every day. My second screen is apps that I just use occasionally. So I could just have 2 screens on my iPad here, just if I wanted to. So it's really up to you. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much. I see the hands. You all can hit lower at the bottom. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, let's see. Doing really good. Okay, Miss Carolyn, I remembered. I got you. Which one would you like us to do next? Make sure you hit unmute in the middle, Miss Carolyn, okay? I see your chat. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you learned something new. Miss Carolyn, are you there? You got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay? I did say you had the next question, so just let us know. Again, Miss Carolyn, make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay? Again, you got to be in Zoom. When you're in Zoom, you got to make sure you hit unmute in the middle, okay?
Okay. Wait a minute.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're good, Miss Carolyn. Which one would you like us to do?
Oh, you hear me?
Yes, you hit unmute, so.
I don't know what's going on.
It's okay, Miss Carolyn. Which one would you like us to do?
The keyboard.
Okay, for how much? Miss Carolyn, are you there? Okay. Seems she may have disconnected, but that's okay. I will go with, let's go mid-ground, okay? 300. This trick is used to create foreign symbols or fancy quotes, or special symbols such as cents. So a trick to access these characters. We talk about this in Module 5. Any takers, please raise your hand. And special characters, foreign symbols, how do you access them? Okay, Yvonne, what do you say?
Yeah, well, what I've done, Alex, is hit the key that of the letter that I'm typing, and the symbol, the accent mark, or that I want will appear, and I tap it again, and it appears over the letter.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mr. Leon, what do you say?
I hit the symbol or the character that I want to hold it, and then new accents will come up, and then I hit them.
All righty, thanks so much, Mr. Leon. I appreciate that. And let's see, our last one is Ms. Gerald.
I agree. You
question.
hit the letter and hold it, and the accent mark will come up.
Thank you so much. And yeah, if you press and hold on a key for, it's apparently diacritics, that's the name, any letter, currency symbols, apostrophe, degree symbol. There are many different characters you can access. So if I go to my notes app, right, just as an example, right? Again, if you wanted an E, first of all, make sure you want an uppercase or a lowercase by hitting the shift key, okay, that up arrow. You hold a key and you drag your finger to which one that you want. So if you want an E with the accent, and I can just hit E and just enter regular E, right? But if I want to E with the accent, you hold and you drag your finger to the character that you want. If I hit the 1, 2, 3 and go to the characters, it also works like this. Let's say you want the cents symbol, but you don't see any cents symbol right here, right? But it's there, just hidden. So you hold what's related most to cents. Must be the dollar, right? Because that's money, right? So you hold the $ key, there you go. You have cents, you have euros, you have yen, you have these other currencies too. So look at that, cents. You see it typed a cents in for me? So equals, you can have an unequal sign or about equal sign. For the apostrophes or exclamations, there's other alternate characters, as I would say, for these ones too. So yes, you all got it. Great job. Thanks so much. Okay, again, love for someone that hasn't shared yet, but any takers for our next question? We're doing really good. We have some time for a couple more questions, okay? Any other takers, please raise your hand in Zoom. Okay, I see you, Brenda. What do you say?
Let's try potpourri for 100.
Okay, yeah, anything. So thank you so much. 100 potpourri. This is how you add a website to the home screen. Thursday session. We talked about it a lot. So any takers, this is how you add a website to the home screen. Any takers. We talked about this on Thursday and heard great feedback on that. So any takers. Well, the person that asked that question isn't on today. I wish they were, so they could see it. Any takers? How do you add a website to the home screen? So I'm actually in Safari right now, so that's one tip. How do you add a website to the home screen? All right, Geraldine, what do you say?
Go to Safari and click on it.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Geraldine. Any other takers for this question? Any other takers? Please raise your hand. You can unmute yourself. Here, Brenda, thanks so much.
I kind of agree with Geraldine. You go to Safari, but you select the website you want and add it that way.
Okay, well, I appreciate that answer. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Any other takers? Okay, all right, Denise. I think that'll be our last one for this one.
You go to Safari and then you type up there in the top box, but you have to hit the round circle and type in what you want, like the website that you want to put in. I call it a little hourglass, whatever that is up the top. But it's, up the top where it says search. You have to type in there what you want to put on the screen.
Okay, thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate it. So for this one, the answer is when using Safari. So all of you got Safari. That's really great. Add a website to the home screen. So of course you have to go to the website you want to put to your home screen again. We're trying to access a website from our home screen, okay? So this is my home screen. I can instantly go to a website just from my home screen. I don't have to go to Safari to search it. I can just instantly access it from this trick, okay? So you click on the save or the share button, open button, however you want to call it, that square with the arrow, okay? Or it's adding it to the home screen. Of course, you have to search for the website that you want, right? Here in the search bar, but you have to actually go to it and then hit that share button. So let's say I wanted to, let's see, what website? Maybe, let's see, if I was a parent, maybe if my child goes to DCPS schools, maybe dcps.dc.gov. Maybe I want that to be added to my home screen, So once I'm at the website, again, you can type it in or you can search it or go to it, etc. So if I'm here, right? Or if I go to another page, I can do so as well. Once you go to the website that you want to add to your home screen, you hit the share button. Again, it's that square with the arrow symbol at the top right. You have the tabs button, you have the plus button to add a tab, and then you have the share button. But the share button has many features in it, okay? Once I click on the share button, you see there are many other options. So you can bookmark it, right? It'll appear in your new tab, right? Or you can favorite it. But look at this option. It says add to home screen. You see? Remember this from Thursday, you guys? When you hit add to home screen, of course, you can title it. So maybe I'll delete that. Maybe I'll just write DCPS. You can edit it however you want. And it says an icon will be added to your home screen so you can quickly access this website from your default browser. Okay, so if I hit add, you see it says add right there, right? On this window. Again, whenever a new window appears, it's important to look at all the options that you have. So I'm gonna hit add, and look at that. I just added the DCPS website, and it's technically a shortcut, but you don't do it in the Shortcuts app. You actually do it in the Safari app. So the easiest way, right? Of course, you can do it from the Shortcuts app, but it's a little, more steps. So we always kind of want to go simple when we can. So again, if I click on the new icon, again, I can move this anywhere I want. But you see, it takes me straight to my, again, just making sure that I'm on, straight to that website, okay? If I click on the icon, you see it takes me straight to my DCPS website. Isn't that amazing? I hope you guys learned a lot from that question as well. Again, if you access a website every day or every other day or frequently, you can add the website to your home screen, and then you can utilize it then. So maybe some things that don't have apps but have websites. So I think it's DC Water or gas. I think it's water. I don't think they have an app per se. Like I think it's DC Water. They don't have an app, but they have the website. So if you pay a water bill online, and you can go to the website and then add it to your home screen, and then you can quickly access it from your home screen. So that's another use for it as well. So I hope you guys learned a lot with this. Let's go back. We have time for a couple more questions, but thank you. You guys are doing great. Who would like to be our next question chooser? please raise your hand. Or you can unmute yourself as well, for keeping it pretty casual. Okay, Mr. Leon, I got you. What do you say?
Go back to important tricks for 100.
Okay. All right. Take a couple for this. This step is needed to access your audio control and brightness control. And again, there are many different answers. So we'd love to hear from many of you guys. Okay. Ms. Leon, did you want to answer this as well?
Yes. You're going to go to your settings control.
Okay. Thank you. Brenda, what do you say?
I say you go to your control center, you swipe down so it'll come out.
Okay, amazing. And then Yvonne, what do you say?
I would use the control center as the easiest way.
Thank you so much, you all. Really appreciate it. And the answer is swipe this question is a little older, so there's many different ways. It just depends on the device that you have, really. But what you all said was correct. So you can go to settings and adjust those things. So your audio. So if I go to settings myself, on the left-hand side, you can go to display and brightness. And then you can then access the brightness and adjust it from here. If you go on the left-hand side, and there should be a audio option or sounds. Here are the sounds. You can also adjust the alerts and the ringtone from here too. So yes, you can do it from here. But I think, like what you all said, is a little easier for folks is accessing the control center. So if you swipe from the top right of your screen down just a little bit, not all the way, right? Again, we talk about this in module 5. You swipe down from the top right corner of the screen, and then this is your control center. Again, you see the 2 sliders, one for the brightness. So again, it's so easy just to access. You just swipe down, and then you just tap anywhere else to get out of the control center. But when you're in the control center, you swipe up, you swipe down to adjust your volume, you swipe up, you're dragging your finger up and down to adjust the brightness, okay? So again, using just one finger, again, going up slightly or down slightly. I like that because you can really adjust it as needed. Same thing for the audio, right? You can use the volume buttons to also, adjust the volume, right? You can use the volume buttons on the iPad, but sometimes we may not, be close to it or just have access to it. Maybe my iPad's in this orientation. My volume buttons are not covered, but by my surface, but it just may be easier to use the control center to access the control center, okay? And these controls. So good job, yes, appreciate it. Let's see. Please unmute yourself, and first one gets to choose our next question. Please unmute yourself. Which one would you guys like to do next?
How about potpourri for 200?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. 200, potpourri. This explains why you sometimes see the word reader next to the URL when in Safari. So what is essentially, this question is, what is the reader in Safari? What does that do? Haven't talked about this too much in session, so any takers? What does reader do when you're in Safari? And I'll say it doesn't appear as reader next to it anymore, but you'll see how to access it in just a second if you are not sure on how to access it. But the main question is, what does the reader do in Safari? Okay, Mr. Leon, thanks so much. Again, raise your hand if you'd like to share any answers. What do you say?
Okay, well, when you hit the reader button in Safari, it changes the screen, so it takes all the illustrations away, and you just see the printed. You just see it like a straight printed page. So it makes it easier to read.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leon. Appreciate it. Any other takers? Anyone else would like to share? Okay. And the answer is when using Safari, tap on reader mode in the website address bar to read a website in full screen reader mode, text only with adjustable letter size and no ads. So yay, good job, Mr. Leon. You got that like right on the nose. I really appreciate that. So going to, let's say, the DCPS website, right? This may not be like the best example, but let's see how it works. So this address bar here at the top, okay, this is where you can, of course, type in a website or search for something. But look at this icon here on the left. You see where it says DCPS, the lock sign. If you look to the left, you have that square with the 2 lines right there. You click on it, okay? And then you see all these different options, okay? So it says hide distracting items. That's something new. I haven't looked at this in a while. So again, I'm learning something new with you all as well. Let's see what happens when I hit that. Okay, so you can choose to hide them if you want. I wouldn't use that too much myself. But if I go back up here, you can hit this top left option. So you see the top left next to the AA, that's how you can adjust the text size. But if you click on this option, oh, that's the find. Okay, again, learning something new. You can type in a phrase. So maybe school, you can type, that's the find button. So look, school, and it finds the word school, so you can search for a specific term. So again, just learning new things with you all as well. And then sometimes things change. And then at these 3 dots right here, let me look through. It says use reader automatically for this website, but I don't want it for that website. Let me go to another page. Let me go to Yahoo. Let me go into a article. Let's see. This is Yahoo's website. Look at this one. It says Super Bowl ticket prices are plummeting. How interesting. So look at that. I just saw it for a second up here. It said reader is available. So if I hit that option again, just again, looking through together, learning some new things, right? There you go. So when it works, you'll see it says show reader. So again, learning something new. I love that. If I hit show reader, look at the change, right? You just see really the text. You don't see any of the ads. You don't see any of the other things that are there. You just see the article. So not all websites are going to have a reader, but it's important to recognize that you can if you want. You can even adjust the background. So if you want it dark or light, you can also adjust it by clicking on the one that you want. You can change the font, right? So if you want a different font, maybe one is easier for you to read than the other. Wow. So again, I'm learning a lot with you all as well. So it will say if you go to an appropriate page, that reader, you're able to access these different options, but there are also some other ones here as well. So things like translating, if you want to translate a website into another language, you can do so. Let's see, in Spanish or another language, just going through some of the different options that are there is really interesting. Okay, so if I hit translate website and then I hit Russian, for example, okay. Oops. Didn't hit the right option. That's okay. Translate website and then hit enable translation. Again, that's something they kind of changed a little bit on how this kind of works. So I'm so happy to be going over this with you all. So look at that. It translated the website into the other language. So you can adjust your languages, your preferred ones, etc. Translate the website as well. So all in all, I hope you guys learned something new about Safari today with these different options that you can do. So thank you. We have time for one more question today. And it was so fun, again, so far with you guys, learning a lot. And one more question. So please unmute yourself and we'll pick our last one.
Alex,
Uh-huh.
I finally got this, Miss Carolyn.
Yeah. Okay, which one would you like? Miss Carolyn, which question would you like for us to go over? Okay, Miss Carolyn, you may be having some, no, you may be having some internet challenges, Miss Carolyn. So I would definitely check that out.
Okay, may I pick one out? Okay, may I pick one out?
Yes, which one would you like?
The bases, 200.
All righty now, thanks so much. And please raise your hand if you'd like to answer for this one. So this switch can either be used for mute or to lock the orientation. And this switch can either be used for mute or to lock the orientation. This question is a little confusing, so maybe a better question would be, how would you mute the audio, or how would you lock the orientation? This switch does not specifically exist on the iPad that we have, so just keeping that in mind. How would you mute the audio, and how would you lock the orientation on your iPad? Okay, Yvonne, what do you say?
I would use the control center and go to that icon. It looks like a lock, kind of a circle, like with an arrow, and that would lock the orientation. It's in the control center.
Okay, thank you so much, Yvonne. Really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Any other takers? Again, you can unmute yourself as well. Any takers? How would you mute the audio? How would you lock the orientation? Again, you can unmute yourself as well. Again, this is our last question, so just unmute and share.
Roy, you can on your control bar at the top or the bottom to hit to mute, you can just tap the microphone and an X will come across and you'll mute.
Okay, thanks so much. I'll take one more answer.
Yeah, there's a symbol of a lock in the control center.
Yeah. Thank you, Yvonne. Really appreciate it. Anyone else? And you can unmute yourself and share. Any takers?
I agree with the gentleman with the mute and unmute button at the bottom on your, well, it's at the bottom on my toolbar, is at the bottom.
Okay, and Denise, what do you say?
I was going to say the same thing, the mute button.
Okay, thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate it. And the answer that they provide, there is a side switch for some iPads and phones, most newer phones. Like my phone right here, I do have a side button where I can quickly do an action, but you don't have access to that on this device. So I think the most important part of this question is it's really, really important to look at context because, you know, you guys are correct in Zoom saying that, yes, the Zoom where you have the mute and the unmute. Yes, that's 100% correct. But this is for the general audio, right? So, but yes, with the lock, you guys got that instantly. You go to the control center and you lock it. And no matter how much you move your iPad around, it doesn't change the orientation, right? So make sure you have your lock off if you want to move your screen's orientation, or if you want it to stay the same, you make sure that option is on. And to quickly mute your audio, there's two options. We kind of talked about this with the audio. If you just quickly, or if you just slide all the way down, that's, no audio because your sound is all the way down to 0. Or you can use the volume buttons, of course, to quickly put your sound all the way down, right? So if anyone else was unmuted, I would not be able to hear you right now because my sound is all the way at the bottom. Okay, again, if you guys are muted, I will not be able to hear you. So again, it's just really important to take note, your volume, your lock, and just generally your iPad to know about these controls and being able to adjust them as needed. Okay, so thank you all so much for participating today. I really appreciate it. Just looking through some of the chats here and making sure I get everything for our session today. But this was a ton of fun. I really appreciate you all coming on. And let's see, I am going to share, let's see, this workshop together. I'm going to copy it so that way you all can access it as well too. So definitely make sure that you check out some of the other questions as well for today. I'm going to post that in the chat in a little bit. But let's see. How about triple clicking to cut, paste, or translate? How about undoing by using the selector dots and hitting the delete? So I mean, deleting and undoing are, two different things. It just depends on kind of what you want to do when you're in a document. You usually would select text if you want to adjust that text or etc. with all the different options. So if I write hello, then I double tap, I see some other options that are here as well. So yeah, you can cut or copy or paste it. Also some other options, just depends on what app you're in. So yes, selecting can allow you to do those things, but you cannot specifically undo when selecting text. You either have to use the undo button or you can use the trick that we learned today and during module 5 is using 3 fingers and swiping left or right to undo and redo. Okay, so I hope that answered that. Okay. All right, so let's see, for our last part of our session today, just generally any thoughts, anything that's new that you learned, any comments for the session today? It was really fun. I really appreciated you guys joining, and I learned quite a bit myself today, exploring with you all. Of course, I didn't take a look at most of these questions, so that way, I could be a surprise or learn as much as you all. So please raise your hand if you'd like to share any thoughts, any questions about some things that we learned, any comments for our session today. We'll really appreciate that. Okay, and make sure you stay on for our poll. All right. Okay, thank you so much for the hands, you guys. First up is Yvonne. What do you say?
I think
Thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, this is a nice way to learn because it's learning and enjoying having fun at the same time. And I really wanted to hit 400 for basics, but I didn't get a chance. But I learned a lot, Alex.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was lots of fun and very instructive, very instructive.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a while, so hope I did a good job.
You did a great job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Yvonne. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well, Alex.
And some of the things we talked about today, if you have an iPhone, it also applies as well. So please just share this knowledge and eventually this video with others that you may know with Apple devices, okay? Thank you, Ms. Vivian, for joining us today. Any thoughts or comments or questions that you have? You got to make sure you hit, there you go.
Okay, thank you. I agree with Yvonne very much so. I'm highly impressed by what everyone has learned on here. I must visit more often. And I like this camaraderie. And I still say Mr. Leon must have worked with iPad because he is very knowledgeable of the iPad.
Yeah, repetition is key. We have our modules every week, but we also have them posted on our channel too. So you joined quite a bit. So just keep joining, and the more you'll learn. And Rome wasn't built in a day. And
Yeah.
you answered very great too, and you participated.
Yeah.
So you're doing what you got to do. So
Thank you.
keep doing.
Okay, time well spent. Definitely.
Thank you
Yep.
so much, Miss Vivian. It was a pleasure to have you today. All right. Again, any thoughts or questions before we end for today? Any comments? But I really appreciate the kind feedback. Again, we don't do this every day, so hope that I lived up to Alex Trebek. All right, Denise, thanks so much for joining. Any thoughts or questions or comments for today?
Yeah, Alex, I enjoyed this a lot, and I think you should continue to do it this way because it's, we're, having fun also. Instead of doing the videotape, when you have the little cartoon man coming across, I like it better this way. We getting hands on and we can see better what the question was saying because you explaining that particular question to us and showing us. So I like this pretty good. This is good.
Thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're always encouraging different topics and different ways to do things. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And yeah, make sure you check out our modules. That's where a lot of the knowledge today came from. So make sure you check out those videos. And our final hand, if there aren't any other hands for today, is from Miss Wilda. Thanks so much for joining today.
Yeah, I'm not as swift as most people, but my question was, when you did the saving to the home screen, you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so adding to the home screen. Did you have a question about that?
Yeah, you were moving kind of swiftly, and I didn't know what button that was you were pointing to.
Okay, Ms. Wilda, no, I got you. So,
Okay.
So again, when you're in Safari, so again, at the
Yeah.
top right, you see you have the tab button, you have the plus button where you add a new tab, and then you have this, and then you have the share button. So look at the top right, okay?
On Safari on my phone.
So you again, you can do it on your phone, but I want you to look at the screen as well, okay?
Okay.
So again, you have the tab because it appears different on your phone. So whatever, I just want us to be a little consistent, but you can do it on your phone too. It's just a different manner. So you're gonna hit the share button here, the square and the arrow at the top right, and then you're gonna just simply scroll and find where it says add to home screen. So
that's
you
what
have to.
I'm not seeing how you got this drop down.
So
what I'm looking
again,
at
so at the top right, so look at the top right, you have this square, you have these three blue buttons, okay? So if you look at the top right, there's only, so many buttons right there, right? So just make sure you look at the top right, okay? You have the two squares, you have the plus, and you have the square and the arrow.
On my iPad now, or do you want me to go to?
No. So you're in Zoom looking at my screen, right, Ms. Wilda?
Yes.
Okay, so look at the top right, you have this two squares, you have the plus sign, and you have the share button, that square and the arrow. When you click on that button, the drop down will appear. So again, it even shows you where it came from, because look at the top of the menu, you have that little divot right there that indicates that it came from that section at the top right. And then once you go through the menu, you see where it says add to home screen. And then
but I apologize. I don't have that. I don't have that. At the top of my screen, all I see is 4 squares, a camera, and where you can, a mute sign.
So yeah, but you may be in Zoom as well. I'm not sure if
I'm in Zoom, correct.
Well, yes, you shouldn't be looking at the toolbar because that's not what we're going over. I can't exactly see what you're seeing, but when you're in Safari, you should see these 3 options at the top right. I really recommend you check out that video from Thursday and also the video from today as well. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Yes. Adding to home screen, hitting that share button and hitting add to home screen. Okay. Definitely check that out. Thank you, Miss Anne. I think that will be our last one for today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, how are you? This is Anne.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to see the schedule. Sometimes there's no event. On Mondays and Fridays, is the schedule change? There's no event.
Yeah, so Miss Anne, again, make sure you check out our daily email. We send it out every day, Monday through Friday, and it has our schedule for the week. So we are having a session on Mondays at 1:30 for the month of February. But besides that, nothing has changed. We have sessions on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So our daily email should showcase that. That's when we have our different sessions.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so make sure you check out your daily emails, you guys, your calendar apps. You should have our sessions on there as well. So make sure you continue to check that out. But I really appreciate you all joining today. Really learned a lot. Make sure you review this video. Make sure you review the Thursday video. And make sure you just take a few minutes just to kind of review your notes and practice some of the things that you may want to utilize. And of course, may take others more time or less time. That doesn't really matter, just as long as you take your time and to really go into these different things. So really check out our YouTube channel, review those videos, so that way, we can best assist you as well. But feel free to also call our help desk, email us if you would like any assistance. Besides that, it was a pleasure to present. Make sure you stay on for our poll today. And thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day.